Hello everyone. So let's start solving today's Leetcode daily challenge question. So the question is ugly number 2. Okay. An ugly number is a positive integer whose prime factors are limited to 2, 3 and 5. Okay. So we are given an integer n, return the nth ugly number. Okay. So if we see here, n is 10, so we have to return the 10th ugly number. So if we start from 1 1, then 2, okay, here it is written whose prime factors are limited to 2 3 and 5. So for 1, you can see in this example the explanation is given that 1 has no prime factors, therefore all of its prime factors are limited to 2 3 and 5. So no means uh, we can consider it as our so this limited to this numbers, the prime factors. Okay, so 1, then you can see 2, so two's prime factor is 2, which is in this numbers only. Then 3, then 4. For 4 the prime factor is 2, and that belongs to this group only. Then if we see 5, so here you can see it's the same 5. If we see 6, so 6 has two prime factors, that is 3 and 2, and both belongs to this group. Then here again you can see 10, so 10 prime factors are 5 and 2. Here for 9 it has 3. For 12, what are factors? Factors are 2 3 6 4. Okay, but what are prime factors? 2 3. So both belongs to this group. Okay, so these are 10 numbers, so we have to return the 10th element, 10th ugly number. So we are considering this as ugly number because this numbers prime factors are belongs to this group. So consider this as a group, as 2 3 5. Okay, so the 10th number is 12. So here first ugly number is 1 only. Okay, so it is returning. So if we are given with the 10, so what is here? Okay, so you can see the range is 1690. Okay, so the first naive approach will be our for loop. We will traverse till this number and we'll check for each number that if it is a ugly number or not. And if it is a ugly number, let's say we have a count variable which will count how many numbers we found which are ugly. So we will increment it when we found any ugly number. Then when we get that count equal to our n, that means that number will be the 10th number. Okay, 10th ugly number, then we will return. But it will give more time complexity definitely, because we are checking for each number. So instead of what we can do is we will find the ugly numbers only first 10 and then return it. So we can use the dynamic programming approach. Okay, here, so how we can solve is, we know our ugly number is divisible by 2 3 or 5, any of this. So instead let's consider that, let's say we have these ugly numbers. Okay, initially 1 2 3, at least one. Then we will multiply this one with all the three numbers, then we will get 2 3 5. So 2 3 5. Again for 2 we will multiply with these numbers, then we'll get 4, then we'll get 6, then we'll get 10. So similarly, if we start, okay, if we multiply our this all three prime numbers to previous ugly numbers, then we will get new ugly number. And then we can check with this in this way we can find the ugly numbers, and from that we have to return the nth. So how we will return nth? Let's say here you can see for 1 we got 2 3 and 5, but if we place 2 3 5, so 4 will come after this. So instead what we want the 10th ugly number. Okay, here in this case we want 10th, so nth ugly number. So our number should be in the sorted order only. First we can calculate and then we can sort, that is also okay. Or instead what we can do, we can place the minimum number initially and we will increment. Okay, let's say if we consider three, okay, three pointers. Okay, three pointers which are pointing at 0, because this is 1. Okay, so here we will point, we will find the multiplication of each with this. Okay, then if I am placing 2 here, I will increment that pointer, that is, let's say p1 p2 and p3. We will increment p1 to this. so that next time 2 will be multiplied with 2 and 3 will be multiplied with 1 and 5 will be multiplied with 1. So in that case 3 is the minimum number which we get, so we will place 3. Then our we will move pointer. Okay, let's dry run here directly. Okay, we have our group as 2 3 5 and we have n as 10. Okay, and let's say we have pointer 1 which is 0, pointer 2 which is 0 initially, pointer 3 which is 0, which is pointing at 0th position. Okay, so our let's consider an array which will keep track. Okay, so let's say initially we have added 1. Now now what we are doing, we are multiplying each this with 1. Okay, now what we will get, we'll get 2 3 and 5. So after which is minimum 2. So we'll increment this pointer, that is 0 to 1. Now p1 will point to first position. Okay, and p2 and p3 will point at 0th position. So we'll multiply p1, that is first position, p2 sorry 2 to this all numbers, to this numbers. Okay, so okay, so now we'll multiply this 2 with 2. Now we'll get 4. Again we'll multiply this p2 with these pointers are these three pointers we want, because we want to multiply this with each. That means p1 for 2, p2 for 3 and p3 for 5. Okay, not like p1 will multiply with all this. Okay, so p1 will be multiplied, that is 3, 2 into 2 is we'll get 4. Again this will be 3 and 5. So out of which is minimum 3. Now we will place this 3 here, and which pointer will increment, p2. Okay, wait, p2. Okay, now now for the next one, this p1, that means okay, this 2 into 2 2 into 2 is what, 4. Again p2 is 1, so it is incremented to here. So 3 into 2 is 6. Now the p3 0, that means 0th position into 5. So 5. So which is minimum, 4. Okay, so 4 is minimum. So now we got this. So similarly we will get all these numbers and we have to return the nth number. Okay, and we will do this same for n times only, because we want the nth number. Okay, so let's take an array. Okay, dp is equal to new int, the size will be n, then dp of 0 which will be equal to 1. Okay, now we want what, we want different p1 pointers, p1 equal to 0, p2 equal to 0, p3 equal to 0. Okay, now for int I equal to 1 2, because already 0 here we have assigned, less than n I plus plus. Now what, int val1 equal to value 1. Okay, instead let's take val2, that means we are multiplying with 2. So dp of p1 into 2, then int val3 is equal to dp of p2 into 3, then int val5 dp of p3 into 5. Okay, now we get our three multiplications. Now we want to place it in the minimum number. So dp of I, which is equal to mat dot min. Okay, let's say 2 first, val 2 comma math dot min val 3 comma val 5. So in this way we have found a minimum of 3. Okay, now we have to increment also, right? Which pointer, because which we have choose that pointer we have to increment. So if dp of I which is equal to val 2, then what, p1 plus plus. If dp of I, if it is equal to val 3, then p2 plus plus. If dp of I, if it is equal to val 5, then p3 plus plus. Okay, point. Then at the end we have to return what, dp of n minus 1. Okay, so what we did, we have taken one array dp with size n, then dp of 0 is 1 initially. Okay, now we want three pointers, that is p1, p2 and p3. Okay, so here let's take in p1, p2 and p3. Then from I is equal to 1 less than n, I plus plus value 2, value 3 and value 5. That means we'll multiply with 2, 3 and 5. P1, P2, P3, dp of. Okay, now dp of I. Okay, the second number will be minimum of all. So minimum of val 2, val 3 and val 5. Okay, now if we'll check if d here. Okay, dp of I, if it is equal to value 2, that means we have to increment this pointer, that is p1. If dp of I is equal to value 3, okay, that means you have to increment this pointer. If dp of I is equal to value 5, then we have to increment this pointer, and we'll get all the arrays. Okay, all the elements in an array, and the last element we have to return. Okay, so why here we have not added else if, because what happens, okay, here you can okay, where is our example? Okay, what happens, we can get value 2, value 3 as same. Sometimes we get the same value, but we don't want same value here, right? So let's say 6 we get twice, because here we have 2 and 3 both the numbers, right? So first we have multiplied 2 with 3 and we have multiplied 3 with 2. So we'll get the number 6 as twice. Okay. So in that case we have to ignore that. So for that, if any of two, let's say value 2 and value 3 will get same number, we are going to take only one number, but we will increment both the pointers. So that is why here are both if, not if else. Okay, so let's run. So in this way you can solve this question. It is taking some time. Let me refresh once. So maybe there is some internet issue. Let me connect. Yeah, now you can see accepted. So let's run. Let's submit the code. Oh, it got refreshed. Okay, so the page got refreshed. Let's wait. Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, now let's submit. Now, so you can see our solution got accepted. So if you feel this video is helpful to you, Please like this video, subscribe my channel, stay updated. Thank you so much.